Honestly, don't promote gospel artists. They're not great. Honestly, is not a secular artist.
There is no light in them, and that includes Kurt Franklin.
We don't chant. We don't chant. In fact, let me not just get into this music, people, because you know, music is not actually New Testament ministry. Music is not New Testament ministry. It's not New Testament ministry.
You watched the other video. This is the sequel. Why should a gospel music minister charge a fee? Oh, some people are even saying things like one artist is going secular. What does that mean? I guess the real question should be, who is a gospel minister and who is a gospel artist? Oh, you didn't know there is a difference. All right, let's define the term so that you can find out. Who is a gospel artist? A gospel artist is one who is involved in the art of making music that has its orientation in gospel music. The key word being art. Now, the music minister is someone who is submitted under the fivefold ministry and delivers his ministry through music. Great difference between the two, you will agree with me. Okay, I think the ecclesia, which is the church, has to do a better work in creating a distinction between these two, because I guess this is what is causing offense in most cases. The overtly religious are feeling like one party is going out of the box and is too extreme, while the other are feeling like another party is too reserved, too conservative, and too sanctimonious. When we create this distinction, we will be able to know who is who, and then it will reduce this offense. Note that this podcast is not to cast blame or to cause offense, and that's why nobody's name is being mentioned, but it's for us to have clear distinction between who a gospel artist is and who a music minister is. So let's push further a little bit. A music minister can be a gospel artist, but a gospel artist may not necessarily be a music minister, because a gospel artist functions mainly in the industry. The music minister functions mainly in the church. Have you heard things like, oh, God called us to the world, not the church? Now, that is a statement a gospel artist will make. A music minister, Now, everyone has a gift and everyone is in a ministry. Either you are a gospel artist or a music minister. But while the music minister function is under the fivefold ministry, that gift is activated at salvation, unlike the ministry gift which Romans 12 talk about. And this is where the gospel artist falls under. The ministry gift, which is in Romans 12, is more of a gift that you are born with. It comes directly from God. So someone can be born with the talent of singing. Does not automatically make the person a music minister. Let's create a distinction. A music minister and a gospel artist. A music minister receives his flow from the fivefold ministry. That means whatever God is saying to the body, the music minister interprets it through songs and delivers the message to the body, while the gospel artist attends to the basic needs of Christians. Now, what do I mean by the basic needs of Christians? We're talking about when there is a wedding. We want a song that is not perverted. We want a wedding song from a gospel artist. When there is a birthday, we want a song that is not perverted from the gospel artist. And then you can think of other occasions. For instance, love songs. This is where it is okay for a gospel artist to make love songs. Number two, majorly, a music minister operates within the church because he has to answer to the fivefold ministry. A gospel artist, not so much. A man can decide and say, I want to make music and I want the orientation to be in the gospel. Yes, he can present his song to his pastor. His pastor can bless the song, and bless him as well, even as he goes out to make music. But he is not necessarily answerable to the church, which is the body. Now, the gospel artist expression is almost relatable in the secular space, is in the industry. He used marketing channels, to push his music forward. Music minister submits to the fivefold ministry. Now we can trace this back as far as the book of Numbers 18 talked about a particular part of the Levite called the Kohathites. Now, the Kohathites was the tribe that Korah belonged to. Now, the sons of Korah were part of the people that wrote the Psalms. And Psalms are sung because their function was in the temple, and it was such a consecrated service that if they mess up in any way in their service, the Lord can strike them dead. And I'm saying as much as carrying the vessels for service anyhow. That is to tell you that the music minister's duty is very consecrated. It is temple oriented, and it is not something you can meddle with just anyhow. The gospel artist expression is relatable even in the secular space. Why? Because it does things like trend. People talk about the reason people say things like, oh, why is a gospel artist? Why are they doing TikTok trends? Yes, a gospel artist can operate within that confines. Why? Because he's in an industry. They try to mend the two up and call it industry because yes, it's still a ministry. Anyways, remember I talked about the grace gifts in the book of Romans 12. It is not the same as the gifts that Jesus gave in the book of Ephesians chapter 4. The grace gift is given to all. Anyone can function within that confines. But you see, the fivefold ministry is a separated ministry. So the music minister receives his flow from the fivefold ministry, and that is where he delivers it to the body in form of music. Now, the music minister's work can spill into the industry. This is because of the advent of stuff like the media, especially the new media, social media. But ideally, the minister should not be more particular about transaction and making money off records and all that than it is about service in the ecclesia, which is the church. Now, just because your pastor blessed your work when you were about to release it, whichever project you are handling, be it single, be it video, be it album, does not mean that you are a music minister. You have a ministry, quite all right, but it is according to Romans 12 verse 6. Romans 12 verse 6 talked about the grace gift, which every one of us possess one gift or the other. But you see, the Ephesians 4:11 gift is talking about the offices that holds the institution of the ecclesia together. So you can be a gospel artist, you can be a worship singer, does not make you a music minister. A music minister is a music minister either by his ordination or his consecration, not just because he sings.